Hello everyone, welcome back to Arkle EBS Pro Running channel. I hope you are doing very well. Welcome to part 10 of the Arkle EBS beginner training series. We defined our period type and created the accounting calendar. Our calendar contains the regular accounting periods and an adjustment period for a year and adjustments. We also verified that the required currency is available. Now these components are ready to be used in our ledger setup. Now we are ready to the next important step in our general ledger configuration, creating the ledger. In today's video, we will understand what a ledger is and why we need a ledger and what information is required to create one, and then we will create our ledgers step by step in application. Go to next slide. So what is exactly is a ledger? So let's look at the major components of our ledger. Ledger nothing but records. So the main ledger attributes are the 4Cs plus accounting method like chart of accounts, accounting calendar, currency, subledger accounting method. Ledger will be allowing record business transactions. First, the chart of accounts define our accounting structure and segments. Come to accounting calendar, second one, and define the accounting periods. Third one is currency, define the currency used by the ledger. And finally, accounting method. So how accounting is generated for subledger transactions when subledger accounting is used. For example, when we create an account and AP invoice, Oracle needs to accounting rules to determine the debit and credit accounts. Similar accounting is generated for AR and fixed assets transactions. The accounting method and subledger accounting rules support this process. So a ledger is main accounting record keeping framework used by the Oracle General Ledger. It brings together important accounting components. Oracle EBS uses these components to determine how accounting information is recorded and maintained in the ledger. These components work together to establish our accounting framework. So before we create our ledger, there is one important prerequisites that we need to complete, that we need to make sure that our retained earnings account is available in our chart of accounts. The retained account is used by the general ledger to carry forward the net balances of income and expense accounts from the previous year to new year. Therefore, before completing this ledger setup, we need to verify the appropriate nature accounts value and its account clarification. Let's go to the instance accounting flexible and nature account segments and query our existing values. In case if it is not there, we have to create it. Then move to application, press F4, close this window. So now this is the general ledger. So navigation is setup, financial, flexible, key, values. I moved this top 10 list. If you want to go and click in the top 10 list, key flexible values, otherwise you can click on here. It will open the same window. So now select from LOV. What is the application? General ledger. And what is the title? Accounting key flexible, structure ABC, corporate underscore COA, and segment is accounts. Now click find. So we can find values for this segment. value set. So earlier we have created for only expenses values. There is no retained earnings ownership account. So let's do for retained earnings value. I am taking value 63000 retained earnings. So retained earnings belongs to the equity category. So we select the ownership account type for this natural account depending on the terminology displayed in our Oracle EBS environment. Retained earnings belongs to the equity category. So we select the ownership account type for this natural account depending on the terminology displayed in our Oracle EBS environment. This clarification is important because Oracle use the nature accounts account type. We defining how the account behavior in the general ledger processing. We should always use the accounting type approved for the client chart of accounts. I'm selecting the from LOV ownership account. Click OK. Then save the record. Control S. Otherwise you can go and save here and close this window. Then concurrent request compile as set hierarchy. So next to go for PPT. Next slide. So why do you need a ledger? The ledger provides the accounting framework where our accounting information is maintained. It determines which chart of accounts is used, which accounting calendar controls the periods, and which currency is used for the ledger, and which accounting method applies transaction from Oracle subledgers and general ledger are ultimately accounted for within the ledger. So the ledger is very important foundation for our financial accounting process. Next, move to next slide. So for our training example, let's review the components we will use. And our chart of account is ABC underscore corporate underscore COA. And our accounting calendar is ABC underscore calendar. And our ledger currency will be INR, assuming that is the currency approved for our training setup. And for the accounting method, we will use the appropriate method configuration in our environment. Finally, our ledger name will be used ABC underscore primary ledger. These all are training example, and in real implementation that values should be based on the client's approval requirements. Go to application. Navigation is setup, financial, accounting setup manager, accounting setup. So here, this is the HTML form. So before we create our ledger, Oracle gives us to step to associate a legal entity within the accounting setup. So what is legal entity? In simple terms, a legal entity represents a legal recognized organization or company that can own assets, enter into contracts, and have its own legal and financial responsibilities. For example, a business organization may have a legal company registered in a particular country. That company can be represented as a legal entity in Oracle EBS. So on the screen, Oracle allow us to select and assign the legal entity that will be associated with our accounting setup. You can see the columns like legal entity. Click on the create accounting setup. Legal entity and legal entity identifier. So we will cover legal entity creation and multi-org structure separately when we discuss the multi-org setups. For today's ledger creation demonstration, we will skip this step and continue with the accounting step. Go to next. So this is the navigation and primary ledger creation window. Now give the name ABC underscore primary underscore ledger. So chart of accounts already we have defined. So you can select from list of values, click on the search and here type ABC, click go. So our chart of accounts came, just select, and calendar also we have defined ABC, ABC calendar, then currency INR and subledger accounting method is standard accrual. So next, click on the next button. Click on the finish. So here our accounting setup has been successfully saved. In this next video, we will define the accounting option and review the important accounting accounts, including retained earnings and other applicable accounts. Once the required configuration is completed, we will be ready to move towards transaction processing and general accounting. Go to PPT, move to next slide. So this is the GL configuration journey. Let's look at where we are in overall general ledger learning journey. So we started with the chart of account structure, and then we create the segment values in part 8. And in part 9, we created our accounting calendar and verified the currency. And now in part 10, we have created the ledger. And in part 11, so we'll continue with the ledger options. And after completing the required configuration, we'll move into the general creation and posting. And thank you very much for watching Oracle EBS Pro Learning channel. I hope this video helped you understand the ledger creation process in Oracle EBS R12. So in the next part, we will continue with the ledger options and accounting accounts. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the part 11. Have a nice day.